was watching Dad's prep for so long and just seeing it was like, it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of emotions, especially with prep. You know, we don't got no food. That was definitely something.
Yo, what it do? Episode 2, Treau Talk, we in the building. Well, we only take one take because we don't edit out shit, you hear me? So, special guest, man, we got mommy extraordinaire, bodybuilder, nail tech, all the things in one, Angela Turner.
What's up?
We got baby girl, AKA Lil Mama, AKA I run all the things. Our daughter, Aedyn Turner.
Hi, guys.
So, first of all, thank y'all for coming. Of course, this is episode 2. And the reason why y'all here today is because I wanted the world to know that, you know, the fitness journey from a family side, like what it takes, what it looks like in the inside, what our daughter take is, you know, like what does she actually feel when she wakes up day to day knowing that she's seen it for 14 years. And then think about how your perspective has changed from when you first got into it and different things like that. So we'll jump right in. So, Angela, you started competing when you were 40. And then you said to yourself, I want to go pro. I want to be competitive. What does that look like? What does those 4 years look like for you?
Okay, so first of all, I mean, I think when I initially set that goal, I really had no idea what it meant, you know, what it was going to require of me. And I think, you know, I appreciate you and the job that you've done over the years kind of educating me on that, especially like, you know, the not so pretty and glamorous side of bodybuilding.
Because nothing is pretty about this shit. It's not. Yeah. It's not a pretty thing.
That was really eye opening. It didn't dissuade me though. You know, obviously I've been on the national stage, placed top 10, top 5, and I think it's humbling, but at the same time, it also makes you hungrier. You know, if your motives are in the right place. So I guess for me, you know, I've just learned recently, especially not to try to rush it. Not that I was before, but just, you know, I just have a different level of appreciation for the sport and what it requires to turn professional. Because I think, unfortunately, not everybody pursues pro status for the right reason anymore. And I fully believe that I am still pretty true to my original motivation for wanting to be professional. And that is just to continue to motivate and inspire people. You know, you asked me not too long ago, do I want to be a bodybuilder or do I want to be an influencer? And I'd much rather be a bodybuilder. If I can have some influence, positive influence on people, great. But at the end of the day, it's bodybuilding first. So I just try to wake up every day and live as I believe a professional bodybuilder would.
Cool. So, Aedyn, before you dig deep into like where you are currently mentally, if you can remember when you were younger and watching bodybuilding, what were you thinking to yourself? From whatever age you can remember, like what was you saying to yourself?
I think the beginning for me was really like one of the first shows. I think it was something Arnold.
No, it was a Jay Cutler.
No, yeah, Jay Cutler. That was one of the things where I really started paying attention. Like,
It's on your dad show.
I mean, like I was watching like Dad's prep for so long, and I just seen it was like it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of emotions, especially with prep. You know, when you don't got no food. That was definitely something. But I think...
What was you thinking, though, when you was watching it from the beginning? So what was the emotions that you noticed?
The emotions I thought I noticed was I saw a lot of happiness with, like, when you seen, like, your changes in your body. Like, when you could see progress, that's when you was really, like, getting excited for the show. And I think us just being there made it, like, even better.
Yeah.
Like, the support.
I remember that show. It was one of my best preps, for sure.
I remember we was watching right before you went on, and I was like, I think I said something. I was like, he's not lean enough or something like that. And he was like, yup. And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, I'm kind of getting the hang of this.
That's what's up. So, Angela, I know that over this process you've been looking for, at one particular time you were watching all the YouTubes, watching all the vlogs, watching all the different things to educate yourself on bodybuilding. You was even at one time trying to find balance, like this space to balance out the things. Being a mother first, what is that like inside of this day-to-day process that you know that comes with bodybuilding? What is the mothering like? What do you think that you do well, and what do you think you feel like you do not so well in this process when it comes to the mother side? Because there's a lot of moms out here that's like, yo, I want to bodybuild, but I can or I can't, or afraid to sacrifice some things. So when you look at it from the true perspective of knowing what it takes to be one of the top competitors in the DMV, what is that like?
Well, I mean, that was a lot in one question, but
Right, because that's what we do here. It's Treau Talk. We talk.
So, I mean, first off, I feel like I have definitely evolved as a mother in this sport. Just in terms of, like, you know, prioritizing, trying to keep my emotions in check. And, you know, I think that is, if anybody says that you know, they can be the same with their kids in prep or out, like, I feel like that's a bold-faced lie. But, you know, I think the importance of being aware of it, you know, and knowing, like, okay, I know I'm on a short fuse right now. I probably need to, you know, isolate myself a little bit. You know, it's like learning how to do those things and implement those things. So, yeah, I mean, that just overall. But as far as, like, what I do well and what, you know, could probably use some improvement, I think, you know, basically, when you get to a certain point, I mean, just even from the beginning, really, but especially when you get closer to stage, it's really just, I think I made a post the other day, and it was like rinse and repeat, and literally that's what you're doing. You know, you're basically doing the same exact thing every day. And if you're optimizing your schedule, you're doing it at the same time every day. It doesn't always work out that way. Obviously, you know, little mama had, you know, games and, like, you know, school activities and things that needed to be, you know, juggled as well. And so there's some flexibility with that. But I think I definitely could have maybe figured out how to regulate my emotions more throughout the day. You know, because when you've gone all day, like, low calories, you're doing cardio, you're pushing yourself in the gym. By the time you get home, you really have nothing. And, you know, if there was some way to kind of, you know, balance everything out a little bit better throughout the day so that I can be more present in the evening, I would love that. I don't know if it's possible, and I, you know, appreciate Aedyn's patience. And, you know, I think to be 14, she had really good awareness about that as well. I mean, she spends a lot of time in her room anyway, but especially, you know, as it got closer, you know, she was like, you know, I know mom is tired. I'm not going to bug her. So, you know, that's the thing I think I could improve on. But things that I feel like I do well are, you know, just continuing to show up for her and for the things that I believe she thinks are important.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to help y'all out because I know what mom does well. And mom trying to be political on Treau Talk. And we don't even care about that. So look, mom can still cook the best meals in the whole wide world.
Well, that's different.
Nah, we got to talk about that because I think people need to understand, like, we're talking about mothering, right? And kids remind themselves of the time that what the parent has done. Like, you can't always give back time, right? When you lose time, you lose it. So from my point of view, I appreciate the fact that you speak so eloquently. You know, you're like making this sound so, man, this podcast right here gonna take off. This one, it's gonna be this episode. It's gonna be like, yo, who was the lady that was talking so sharp? So mom cooks the best meals in the world because mom is a foodie by nature. See, she's already shaking with me. So this is how I'm letting y'all know we keeping it real out here. Look, she puts things together that you would not even believe somebody would want to cook doing prep.
But it's
Literally.
love language, how I...
Say it for me, babe.
Literally.
That's how I, like...
That's what we want to know. Yeah, that's what we said. What do you do well? You do these things well.
That's because that's like natural to me.
That's what we want to
That's
know.
another thing. Like meal prep, it would be times where I would just be like, I am not a bodybuilder. Why am I eating this? But like, mom will cook some. She'll put her sweet little seasonings, her little sauces, and I'd be like, okay, wait a minute. Like, she be
It makes you smile,
together.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what she does well. Another thing mom does well is, even though she's so dedicated into her craft, she has a space where she also knows how to be. Mom is a loving person by nature. Like, she's a caring, I care about how everybody else feel individual. So therefore, our daughters, because we have multiple, but we just have the little one here today, but she knows how to still compartmentalize listening to their problems. She knows how to maybe not give them the advice right away, but she knows how to hear them out. She knows how to give them that safe place to still be able to come talk, outside of still going to the games and different things like that. And the reason why I'm digging deeper into it is because we're parents, right? So parents want to show up to the game. We're going to naturally pull up to the game. Because that's easy. It's getting in the car, making a lot of time, go sit at the event and make it and show our face and give the support. But what I want to know is the things that you do inside the home that no one gonna see. Because those are the things that the parents or the mothers are struggling with in bodybuilding. They're not going to see every meal you cook. They're not going to see every conversation. They're not going to see the times when you lay in the bed and Aedyn comes in the bedroom with you and y'all look at a TikTok or look at something on TV or share a Netflix moment, or she comes to you and you talk to her about posing or some jewelry you gonna wear or something like that, or your cool new, we ain't giving nobody no plugs, but your cool little outfits that you just bought and all that. So at the end of the day, those are the things that I think also make you a great bodybuilder right now, because there was a moment where you hadn't evolved to that. So that's why I say in the beginning, think about you know, the things that you do well and the things that you don't, because there is a mom right now that's going to watch this and go, I'm afraid to bodybuild because my kids, people tell me I got to be selfish. I have to remove myself from certain things. And my thing is, you do. But you've shown that, hey, I can still do this at a pretty high level and still give this. And I think those are things that maybe you're not even aware that matters. You know, like the minute I said something about the food, I look at our daughter and her eyes lit up, her face lit up, her heart lit up, you know, because those are the things she remembers. She's remembering those moments when she's watching you at your hardest time go, I'm going to make avocado toast with tomatoes and some type of banana bread, or with all the things that somebody would probably never want to smell, let alone cook.
Yeah, okay, so yes. Partially
that's what makes her dope, y'all.
Partially. But also like that's just what I do. So I don't look at that as like, oh, I'm going above and beyond. And honestly, since we keeping it real, there are days that I don't feel like doing anything. I'd be like, Aedyn, go eat some turkey and rice. Like, I don't have it in me to make that meal. But when I do, you know, I do. So.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the greatness of being a bodybuilder. Like, what I'm telling you is, and I'm telling everybody out there too, we one take shout it here. You know what I mean? We're not going to edit this. We're not going to come up with some great script story for you to believe what bodybuilding is or not. We're going to tell you right here, right now. I'm not going to be the channel where you come to and I can't get a real perspective of what it is. Because just like you go to that game, you can technically say that's who you are, right? But it's a parent that don't. It's a parent that will say to themselves, I'm not going. It's a parent that said, I'm not going to cook.
Well, that's when it's like, well, I go, but then I leave at halftime.
That's fine, but you showed up. Yeah. That's what I'm saying to you. That's what makes you great as a mother. You know what I mean? When she know you pulled up to the game, she can turn around and say, Mom was here. That moment mattered. Even though you left at halftime, that moment don't matter. It's the moment that you showed up, you know? So I also look at, Aedyn, what do you think? When you look at, if you can you remember when Mom started competing?
Vaguely.
Like, does it stand, is vaguely? All right, cool. So let's get to the future, to the present then. Let's just talk about Mom's most recent prep. What was it like for you? She prepped for 16 weeks. Yeah.
It felt like a long time. But I think because of how old I am now, it was more so just watching her pose every day, watching her go to the gym, still make it to the gym after working, all that, and still managing to do it all. And I was just, like, it was motivating for me to, like, become, like, be the best that I could be.
That's dope.
Because, like, if I could see her every day pushing herself, it just makes me want to do the same thing.
See, she didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, those are the things that the parents should know. Like, hey, your kid is going to get inspired by living through you. We live through our kids, but they also live through us. Because my perspective as being a bodybuilder is totally different. You know, like, my kids get to see, and if it's something you want to add, you can add, but I'm all in. Nothing can go wrong. There is the time that I'm going to wake up and do the cardio. There's a time where I'm going to train. There's a time that I got to eat the food. And I'm mad if anything is off schedule. And I'm going to do everything in my power to stay off my feet. I'm going to do everything in my power to limit my schedule. And I'm not cooking no food. We're going to order some food, but I ain't cooking it. You know, so therefore, I'm going to show up to the games, but I can't look at that as the thing that makes me a good dad. I think at that point, that's when my head is more clear. So I'm more focused on like, hey, did you get your schoolwork done right? Are you maximizing your time? Are you eating well? Are you drinking your water? I'm asking those questions every day. Right. You know, because I'm thinking about now, I know if I can do it, she can do it. Am I actually ingraining something in her that she can hold on to and be like, yo, I know how to do this? Like I remember one time she came to me and said, Dad, I don't have no business getting fat. And I said, why you say that? She said, because I got 2 bodybuilding parents in the house.
Yes, like that's one thing I just cannot, like I have to make that. If I don't do anything else, I have to be fit because it just don't even make sense. If I have 2 bodybuilders as my parents, why am I not fit too? Like, yeah,
not even gonna be a thing.
Like it's to the point where I eat so much healthy food, I don't even care to eat. Okay, not gonna say that. I can definitely.
You have
yes,
access to the healthy food.
I have access to the healthy food, like even candy. In my school, that's one thing that is a big thing. Like everybody just love. Like for Halloween, they go all out for the trick or treating. But it's just like I don't really care to eat candy. Like I would rather eat some fruit. I get down with the fruit. So
that's what's up. Mm-hmm. So, Aedyn, what is the difference in watching us prep for you?
You mean me versus you?
Right.
We're going to do one at a time.
Yeah, let's do it one at a time.
Let's do Dad first.
All right.
Dad, when we got to go from beginning to end.
All right, cool. Let's go beginning to end. Give it to him, baby.
Right before he start getting the prep, he going to make sure that night before, he going to eat good. That's the night I know we're gonna have some pizza, we're going to have a burger. It don't matter what it is, it's going to be something. Because when it's time to lock in, it's time to lock in.
Lock in.
So once he in prep, it's pretty much same routine, same. I know when he going to work. I know when he about to go work out. Like, and he's always, if he's not at work or he's not working out, he's definitely on the couch playing the game or watching the game. That's another thing. And at the end, it's definitely, I can see he's like, it's music. Like, music get him to the end. Like, he always got his beats on at the show. He's really locked in. Like, that's really what his whole prep is about. Like, just being locked in. Mom, in the beginning, I don't know. Like, Mom is the type she not gonna do the burger. Like, if she can, she gonna have some avocado toast. She gonna eat the salad because she wants to. And then when she get into prep, it's like she'll find a way to have a healthy version of her cheat meal. That's one thing I don't understand, but she love to do it. And
give me an example.
Mom, a mug cake, Kodiak mix.
Talk to him. Talk to him. As a
cake. Like, if she could have a cheat meal, that's what she want for dessert, a mug cake. And at the shows, it's more of
sweet frog too, though.
Mom, rarely.
Talk to him,
rarely.
Babe.
But it happens.
Rarely.
Because I don't have the green light.
He be giving you the green light, and you still
Thank
be
you,
like,
babe. Appreciate it.
Are you sure?
No, the light stays yellow.
Or she'll be like, or we'll go out to eat, and she gonna make sure she calculate all the calories.
Talk to her.
And all that. But
I just don't be wanting to hear his mouth afterwards.
That too.
That's why I'm glad we got the one in the middle, y'all, so y'all can see the truth.
They be like, well, I didn't know you was gonna eat that. So, it's like I can't really win, so I just try not to
She don't get too excited with going all out. But in the shows, she's locked in, but she's still, I don't know, it's more of a happy to be doing it, happy to have made it to the end. Like, I can talk to her, she'll be smiling the whole time I'm talking to her, and I know she just want to lay down and eat a burger, but she still be happy to be there. But both of them, that's one thing. Like, they can both lock in when it's time to lock in, and I love that.
That's dope. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about. I feel like that's why it was important to have y'all here today. It's important that, one, whether you're a father or a mother, that you can have an honest viewpoint of what it looks like to be a bodybuilder. Like, we see so many people with kids that compete that either A, don't show their children, number one, or their children comes up in some odd conversation so that they can just prove that they're a normal person, right? Whereas if you and I, we actually live through our family. Like, everybody knows what's going on. We can post about it, talk about it, love it, but it doesn't necessarily affect what we're trying to do at the end goal. And then the other opportunity of it is, you know, we can get our kids' perspective. And I think that's the other thing that throws off the bodybuilding as well with the parents, is because they don't really know how their children feel about what they're doing. You know, they don't have the conversation. They don't know if it's affecting the kid in a positive or a negative manner. You know what I mean? Like, I remember one time in my earlier stages of bodybuilding, I remember just being extremely numb to everything, not feeling any type of emotion one way or another in bodybuilding, and especially when I was in prep. And I think the reason was I didn't even know if it was okay to do that. Like, I didn't even know if it was okay to feel anything other than what I was doing. So, and I'll be honest with you, I'm never looking for balance when it comes to me being in prep. I'm never looking for the silver lining in anything other than greatness in that, which means it's some cons that come with that as well. You know, like, the pros are Frank went pro. Great. Yes, I went pro my first national show, but I know what it felt like to be in that prep. I know what it did to my family.
Right, she didn't mention that, the not so pretty side of it. She talked about, you know,
because in my opinion, it's like, because I know how much of a toll it takes, I'm not really thinking about, it's not really that big of a deal to me, the not so pretty side, because I know.
But when you're in it.
When I'm in it, I'd be like, you know what, let me just go in my room and just leave them alone.
Right.
But I'm not really thinking too much about it because I know it's just a phase. Like, it's just because they don't have enough food, because they don't have enough energy, and it's gonna go away. So I don't really worry about it.
I mean, one, I appreciate that, you know, but I'm aware now. I wasn't aware then. And it's good to know that our daughter has evolved in that space, because I'm pretty sure in that moment, it's probably hard for her. You know, it's probably hard for her to deal with or not understand, like, for lack of better words, does my dad love me right now? You know, does he care about me? Does he care about what I'm doing? You know, and it's at that particular point in time in my career, I don't even know if I was able to feel that. You know, I feel like if you wouldn't have came to me and gave me certain things to think about when it was all said and done, I wouldn't have known it, you know. And the truth of the matter is, I'll be the first one to say it. Like, using PEDs and certain PEDs, they definitely trigger certain things in your brain that's just totally different than the way you would normally feel. I'm already super competitive. I'm already a super anal person about certain things. So then when I introduce one in particular PED to my body, it just takes over the whole impact of it all. You know, like, I'm super zoned out. Like, I can get to the gym and lift everything in the room, but I can get to the house and do the same thing, you know, but it might not be lifting at this point. It might be the way I communicate or the way I operate and all those things. But that's why, again, it's you need that person in the home to be able to give you like a small gut check, like, hey, check your temperature.
I'm glad you said that because I have a question for you.
What's up?
When you think about, the last, I don't know, however many years it's been since you, like, started to go for your pro card and, like, to now, what do you feel like are your 3 biggest wins and your 3 biggest L's? And I don't mean losses necessarily, lessons maybe, things that you maybe wish you would have done differently. Or
3 biggest wins will be, I know for a fact win number 1 is the pro card. Win number 2 is being able to be recognized as a threat. Like when people hear my name and they when they hear Frank Turner, you said as a competitor, when they hear Frank Turner is in a mold, I know for a fact that not the upper echelon of bodybuilding is worried about me, but the people that's in my area, they're impacted by whether or not he's going to be at my show. The 3rd win is I can now teach whomever what it means to do it at a high level. So those are my 3 wins. 3 L's will be, I would say the first L that comes to mind is the relationships I've torn. Like I've torn some relationships along the way that are probably unrepairable because of that place. The second L or lesson or loss would be knowing that I could have been a top competitor in the league and I didn't sacrifice, enough of me to put myself in that position. And the 3rd thing I would say is the effect it had on our family. It's humbling to have the support, but it's also hurtful knowing that people had to be in pain to be around me in those moments. It's crazy because the one show that she remembers is my best prep. Yeah. But all the shows after that was very rocky. Meaning I had to like scratch and crawl to get through them. And the biggest part that I realized of that was a couple of those preps, I was in there for the wrong reason. Like I wanted to, reinvent that Jay Cutler experience. Like I can remember that experience so well. And the fact that I could never get it back to that place, it frustrated me.
That
feeling that I had. I could never, it's like I couldn't recreate it for anything.
And they say every prep is different.
Yeah, every prep is definitely different, and I agree with that 100%. But that's what the thing that I look at, like those were the things that I'm like, wow, those things on that side hurt, and now moving forward, I just know that I have to be very, very, I don't know if the word is cautious, but I need to make sure that things around me in the environment has lined up for me to actually prep the way I need to prep for me to be successful.
You're not done.
That's for another podcast. See how they do me, y'all? They trying to get me
to get people something to, look forward to.
I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym daily.
All the time.
Yeah, but I'm in the gym with a purpose, though. So I'm definitely in the gym with a purpose, you know, so y'all can find that part out. And people in the gym that see me, y'all see me.
They just want to know, are you going to continue to compete in men's physique? Or are you moving to classic? Like, that's what they want to know.
I can't answer that question yet. And the reason why I can't answer that question is because I don't know if I can make the weight. So stay tuned.
Right.
I mean, but since we in questions.
I just asked one question.
That's cool. I mean, since we, you know, I like the way you put the spin on it. Aedyn, the cheerleader. So is this like the thing that we doing, y'all? So everybody just want to, I will give this school the plug. We'll give Freedom High School the plug right here.
Back-to-back state champs.
You hear me? You know what I'm saying? We'll give them a plug because my daughter's a cheerleader for the squad. So is this your thing, babe? So is it going to be like cheering? Are we going to do something else? Like, where we going? Like, are you an athlete?
Definitely. I think it's in my genes to be an athlete.
Daddy gave them all? No? Mommy gave some too?
Yes.
All right, cool. That's what's 100% word.
Also,
50-50.
Remember, it's student athlete.
Yes,
That's the
definitely.
part comes first. So
Yes, we know.
Mom gave all of that. How about that?
Mom definitely gave the student.
Right.
Y'all know where I'm from. We'll talk about that later.
Just so y'all know, if my grade's not looking good, I'm not doing nothing.
That's that part.
Yeah. But
So, yeah, it was good. So, like, are you...
cheerleading, I love being a cheerleader. Like, I love the experience. I love the relationships I've made off of cheerleading. Like, since I've been growing up, I've always loved to dance, move around, learn new routines. So
That is a true fact. Whoa.
name dropping.
Whoa. Mommy just dropped a bomb
Name
on Treau
dropping?
Talk.
But yes, I would. I think.
I think it's an incentive that he's there. I don't know if that's the main.
I definitely love being able to do what I love and watch him do what he loves at the same time. But I think when I really knew that I enjoyed cheerleading was in middle school, because my coach, she wasn't the best coach.
I pray she watches
No,
this.
I loved her as a person, but as a coach, it was more me and Zaria was the real coaches of the team. Like we
But
was
keep
the
it 100. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we keep it
was the
100 here.
ones- we was the ones
No
making the
cut cards.
cheers, all that. But moving forward, I definitely have dipped in track, and that's something I want to pursue and something I want to do in college. So
You better get on that track. You better eat right. You better get in that gym.
So
The parts that she struggles with.
yeah,
She's inspired by us, but she
I
ain't
would-
inspired to actually do all of the things.
I just
She's 14.
the Chipotle just be there, like. But yeah, I think because I've dipped in a lot of sports because I just wanted to try everything, and my mom wanted me to try everything.
That part.
But
Expand your palate.
know what they like if you don't let them try things.
But I would say a positive is I learned that I actually really enjoy volleyball, and I did not think I would enjoy it. But I know, still hate soccer. But
Oh, that's a great thing. I'm glad you brought that up, babe. So, me and Mom, the great reasons why we are the yin and the yang and the balance of this situation, which means that our daughters put us right down the middle. So, Dad comes from a philosophy: if you ain't good at it, get the hell out the way. Mom comes from a philosophy of, hey,
you can be good if you put
you
your
can
mind
be
to it.
right. You're just gonna be successful even if you suck. So
No, that's not the message.
We
The
still
message
be
is
going back and forth on
no
this, y'all.
one
Like,
starts. Only Frank Turner came out of the womb being great at everything he would ever touch. Okay, the average person, that's not how it goes.
Let me tell
You
y'all
have to
something.
try.
talk to us, babe.
let me tell y'all something. Volleyball, my dad was, I'm gonna be real, my dad was not for it. He was like, why are you doing volleyball? Like, but when he ended up seeing me play, he was more like, okay, I see where you're going with it. So I would say
I saw the potential in
Yeah.
what it would take. One, I saw what she would have to commit to be a great volleyball player. But I also looked at, knowing my child, what she wasn't going to be able to do to be a great volleyball player. So I didn't think that investment was necessary. Now, you move to track. It came a little bit more naturally to her. And what I mean by that is she could naturally get out on the track and run and do it without effort. Do she need to learn some things to make her better? Absolutely. But the natural ability was already there. So that is something I wanted to help her nurture. So mom, on the other hand, again, at this point, I have no issues with try what you try. But also just be conscious, like, yo, I'm not good at this. And the more time you put into something that you're not good at, you're wasting time. Like, I feel the same way about bodybuilding. There's a lot of people that's been bodybuilding for years, and they just afraid to just understand they suck. Like, stop chasing the trophy. Like, the trophy is not cool. Like, I mean, it's cool maybe the first time. Well, depending on what show you do, it's cool the second time. But if you out here trophy chasing, then that ain't bodybuilding to me. Yeah. So at the end of the day,
there are definitely people who, they do certain shows because it's a tiara or it's
right. And I'm watching you do all the events, and I know this is the only show you're gonna walk away with all these trophies, and then you're gonna post it on Instagram like you crushed a show. No, you just had a show with 15 people, and they had no choice but to give you one of the prizes because you were there. That does not make you great. And you do it year after year. And at the end of the day, again, if that's your story, cool, but don't sell it to me like you're a great bodybuilder, because at this point we know that's not what we're doing. So mom was a bikini competitor and switched over into wellness. She made her way back to the stage. That's what you called it? It was a transition.
A switch. Like, you didn't flip a switch. It was like, I did what you did. Crawling and scratching.
What do you mean I crawled and I scratched?
You said your couple of last preps were, to crawl your way to certain things. I feel like moving into wellness has been very similar to that.
Oh. What made you want to go to wellness so much? What was the draw?
The main thing is I want to.
She wanted a fat ass, some big legs,
okay,
and a small waist.
Let's rephrase.
That's why she got to wellness. She did not want to walk around looking super skinny.
I enjoy my curves. And
don't we all?
I felt like when I diet down as a bikini competitor, it just became so unhealthy looking, and I just did not appreciate or enjoy that process once I got to, being stage lean. I feel like wellness gives you a little bit more to hold on to and appreciate when you get down there, because you still have to put on a significant amount of tissue. It's still a very sexy look, which I can appreciate. And I honestly feel like bikini is, it's more pageantry. It's pageantry with wellness, but I feel like bikini is like literally beach babe, and that's just not, that ain't my vibe.
That's one thing that I do notice. Like, one thing about mom, I can tell she do not like being small. Like, she is most confident when she got the muscles on her, she got the lines, she got all that to show. So,
see?
Because I'm strong, and I feel like, I don't want to have to sacrifice the muscle that I worked so hard to build.
So your draw was the fat ass and the legs?
If you want to, yeah, fuck it. Oh, sorry. If you want to,
she said sorry. Did she say sorry? Did she say?
Are we cussing on this podcast? But yeah, I mean, essentially.
This is true talk. I've been cussing the whole time I've been here.
Essentially, yes.
You can tell the people that. Like, people at home. That's what she wanted.
Yes.
And I supported it. So at the end of the day, it's cool. Like, it was a win-win. I'm just saying to you, let's keep it real. The draw was wet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of it.
Because I remember the days when you didn't wear shorts at all. And then what did we transition to, my love?
Say this every single time.
Hey. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I like the fact, that's why my daughter say, everybody, I want to make sure we know mom going to give it to y'all PG. We going to give it to y'all real. Like, this is what we do. Is it to turn the house, we let everybody know, like, look, this is how we get down. And people get us confused for a lot. You know what I mean? They think the young lady that's sitting across from me is, you know, she's so nice. And she is for the most part. But there is hey, you see it, babe? Talk to him. It is a side of her that is an animal. You know what I mean? And that's the side that makes her a great competitor. You know what I mean? That's the side that people really want to know. Like, people always talking about going viral. People always talking about the fakeness that they see from social media, right? That's what we talk about. That's what people talk about all the time. Guess one thing I don't never have to worry about in my career? Someone going, man, he being fake. Nah. I kept it real with you. You might not liked it, but I kept it real with you. And my whole thing is I believe that's what's going to be really your legacy. Now, what I will tell y'all is I'm in Legacy Studios. This is where we at. This is Legacy right here. So we going to plug the hell out of Legacy in this joint because that's where we at. You know what I mean? Pull up. But that's what you need to let everybody know. Like, let them know, like, yo, when I saw wellness, hey, I said to myself, yes, I was a top bikini competitor, but no, I wanted to be different. And the difference was I wanted to be rounder. I wanted to be fuller. I wanted to feel great inside my skin.
Right.
You know what I mean? And no one is going to be mad at that.
No, I also feel like my genetics are not set up for me to be a bikini competitor.
Yeah, because Gloria was thick.
That's my mother.
Right. Rest her soul. We got the same birthday. We about to celebrate. You hear me? But at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying to you. It's okay to just, in here, in Treau Fitness, in Treau Talk, you can make sure you let the world know, like, yo, this is how I get down. Because guess what? This is going to be when your Instagram going to blow up. Because they're going to remember this episode right here. Like, oh, I got to meet Angela.
I feel like anybody who like meets me and spends time with me, it doesn't take them long to realize how dope I am.
I agree.
Share that with the world because everybody ain't worthy.
No, they worthy to know who you are as a competitor, though. You know what I mean? They worthy. And that's why I told everybody who you was as a mom. You know what I mean? Like, these are things that the world needs to know so they can understand why they following you. You know, people see me in the public all the time because I'm everywhere. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, not yet. You not where those things are popping. So it's like, I told you, I'm giving this platform not just for myself to be honest with the world. I want to bring the people on here that stars that don't know they're a star. This is where they do it at right here at Treau Talk. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to get hot from here. Because they're going to be like, wait a minute, I should have been went on that joint. And by the time it catch fire, it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
But that's why we got my little mama right here. You know what I mean? This is going to be the dopest show ever. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's where we all go wrong. You know, we following all these different influencers. I mean, our daughter's following influencers at this point. You know what I mean? She has people that she's looking at and she's going, I want to be a version of that.
Yeah.
Which means...
I mean, we were the original, though.
Right. I mean, that's the point. You know what I mean? But even though we were the originals, we still have to let people know, like, how did we get here? Your journey to wellness, to me, was a blessing. Because if this category wasn't here when you first started.
I know it was not going to compete in figure.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what they was pushing you. They was like, hey, take them round shoulders that don't got no chill to figure.
They look okay right now. They ain't doing too much.
Don't worry, y'all. We not trying to hurt upper body none during the off season at all. So, Aedyn, like, what you gonna do with yourself, baby? You going to the gym? You know, you gonna eat differently. We gonna, you know, like, how do you progress from where you are now? I mean, cheerleading
don't really take much.
Are you still doing competition? Is that gonna stay on the agenda?
Is there one in the spring or only in the fall?
It's only one. Well, it's only one unless we place high enough. Well, just want to make that clear. We did not place low because our routine was bad. We placed low because they definitely cheated us, but that's another story. But I am planning to get in the gym and start eating better so I can be in the right space to start my track journey. Now, it's going to be hard to be consistent, but...
Well, don't speak that into existence. Just say, you know, let's just say I'm going to be great. Yes. And all the bumps that comes along the way, we'll figure out how to get over top.
We're still going to move past it and become...
Yeah, we're not going to put us in a situation to say it's going to be hard. I mean, you know, it's going to have some toughness. So before we close out, we have one topic that I've been asked to talk about, and it's come to me like 3 or 4 times, and I was super happy that it came to me, and I was like, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity and episode to talk about it. Instagram. So we're gonna start with my daughter because I am the parent that can't come to school in a tank top. I can't come to school with anything but long sleeves and long pants, and mom can show up in whatever she wants to. I'm just going by the rules that I was given. So first, let's dig into the appearance, love. Like, why do you feel, what is your reasoning for how you approach me with the way I dress to come to your school and then mom?
Well, okay. This is really based on mom, for real, because with dad, he's the type he don't really talk when we get to school. Like, because my mom, she do all the talking. She's the one asking all the questions. Like, my dad is going to ask questions, but he only going to ask questions if my mom didn't cover it. So it's more like, when people see my dad, they just look at him. Like, they don't get a chance to meet him, see his personality. Like, most people are scared. All of my friends are scared of my dad, and I still don't understand why. Like, if you meet him, he's a teddy bear in real life. But
oh, thanks, babe.
But here we go. Anyways, but
my daughter stamped it, y'all. See, I got the teddy bear on. Polo. Oh, you hear me?
But yeah, so I make him cover up his muscles a little bit because it's kind of a threat to most people. And my mom, it's not really, I don't really care what she wears because she's so outgoing. So, like, people don't really take.
You think I'm outgoing?
Yes. Compared to dad.
Okay.
Compared to dad, you're outgoing.
I'll take it.
Because you're more of the nice, hi, how you doing? You know? So it's like more people are going to get comfortable with you. Yeah, you're more approachable than dad is. So that's why I have to.
All right, so cool. So that's how you monitor us. And that determines like how we dress, right? Because we're in public, right? Mm-hmm. So let's move to the subject matter. So I had 3 people reach out to me on Instagram. And the question was, how does your daughter or children feel about your mom's Instagram versus to my Instagram? So let's start off with that. Like, when you think about, because me and mom's following is totally different. Even though mom has had to start her Instagram over because it got hacked. That person suck for doing that. But when you think about your mom's social media and how people should or should not follow it, what are your thoughts?
Well, it depends. When it comes to my dad's page, well, are we talking about your business page or your main page?
Not the main page.
Main page, I think.
We want everybody to follow Treau Fitness. So if y'all right now,
I think
follow.
if you're planning to follow Mr. True Blue, I feel like you're really following them to get a personal aspect of Treau Fitness. Like
The person behind Treau.
Yeah, the person behind Treau Fitness. That's how I want to word it. Like, if you want to see how he started, what he cares about, all that stuff, that's where you go to Mr. True Blue. And that's what that page shows. Like, if you look on his page, I'm up there a couple times. So is the rest of his children. Yeah.
Do you encourage people to follow that page, or do you prefer them not to? Tell them, babe. Tell them. Tell them right now.
People I'm cool with, they don't need to follow my dad's page. Because we're going to keep it real. Your page is a little much.
Okay, that's what we want you to do. Keep it real.
A little much.
Okay, it's a little much.
You know, it's a lot going on. You know, like when you first look at the page, it's like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, what page is this? But it's like, yeah, if you don't know what bodybuilding is.
Know if it's OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you don't know what bodybuilding is, you're not really into it.
Mom, you feel like my Mr. True Blue giving OnlyFans?
Some that I could say that.
It's questionable.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I be looking at your post like, okay,
They won today.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I made my dad delete a video because of how much it was just not, like, I be able to take it until I can't. And that post, I
She
just
called. She said, Dad,
yes,
remove it
I said,
now.
Yeah, take it down. It's not gonna work for me.
How you got there to begin with. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I digress.
Anyways, but
So
yeah.
cool. Now, how do you feel about...
Mom's page, I think it's a lot. Like, it's...
So is it giving OnlyFans too?
No.
Okay.
No.
But it's a lot.
It is a lot. Like, you could find food on there. You could find...
It's not a lot. Let's be clear. It's not a lot in the same way that your dad...
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot like...
That's what I'm saying. Make sure it's clear, babe. So
it's a lot like... You're going to find a lot of variety.
Okay.
On her page. You're going to find food, wellness, the nails. You know, if she got a new product she want to try, she going to post it on her Instagram. But... Yeah, I think...
So when you look at Mom's page, do you think the audience knows exactly who she is? Or do you feel like it gives all of who she is?
I think it kind of gives all.
Okay.
Because she has different, like, little aspects of everything in her life. So it kind of...
It touches the page.
Yeah.
Okay. So now...
Are you talking about stories in feed, or are you talking about, because, you know, I tend to go...
Don't lead the witness. Don't lead the witness.
I think when you go to her page and you look at her post, you see more bodybuilding. But if you see her story, you might see some food, bodybuilding, outfits of the day, you know, like...
Just a different variety of things. Cool. Yeah, so, you know, people ask me all the time, they're like, hey, you know, does your children matter on, like, how you post, when you post? Do you let your kids follow your Instagram, different things like that? So I'm always like, yes. And I'm always like, I'm also cool with the critique from my child. You know, like, hey, like I said, like she just said, she called, hey, Dad, take this down. People in my school going crazy. I bet. Let me get it out the way. And then the question was, like, how does Mom feel? Like, does Mom worry about what she posts to make sure that people see her as a bodybuilder, number one? And then does she think about what her daughters may say as far as her being a woman and a mom? Like, does that matter to her? So that was the question to you.
So...
Because your category requires you to approach it a certain type of way.
So I definitely had to warm up to the idea of being more provocative in a way with my body, because for a long time, I did place a lot of importance on how I was perceived to my girls and, you know, just young women in general. Like, I never want to, it's hard for me to find an appreciation for the attention that comes with, you know, me just showing my ass on IG. Like, anybody can do that. You know, but I felt like I've always been inclined to show that you can give the world a little bit of that, but also still keep it classy. Like, I always say that. Like, my goal is to always keep it classy, and I really try to do that. There are some days I'm feeling a little, you know, I might be feeling a little more confident. I might give them a little something more, but it's still not going to be like, oh, dang, you know, like, that was wild.
So how do you feel about the competitors that you see do it then? Like the people that you're chasing?
More power
We know the power, but my question is...
If that's what they like to show and that makes them feel good, go for it. But I am not going to be, unless I'm posting a physique update.
So the question is this then. If the league looks at that as because the league is a business. Mm-hmm. If the league looks at that as a selling tool for them to pick or choose... No, just period. Just the way they operate. I mean, you have people that you follow. You have whoever you feel is at the top dogs of your category. You know how they post. You know what they post. And you know what you're not willing to post. If that is a deal breaker for the league, are you going to change or no?
Honestly speaking, I feel like there's so much variety in what the wellness division displays. Like the Frans, the Isas, they post it to some extent, but they're not like, I don't believe any of them have an OnlyFans, right? There are some other wellness competitors who
may or may not, right?
They do, and they promote that, you know? So I feel like I can be successful without that.
So I guess she just told the IFBB if that's the requirement, no. You know how she tried to ask me, was I going to move up? Oh, I got something, you know, in store. Like, this is where it all comes. This is what I'm saying to you. The league is a business.
I understand that.
You can go look at...
I feel like they also care about, you know, your relationship with aspiring competitors. I feel like they also care with, you know, how you represent the league. And
they do.
Mean, you've even talked about Lola. Like, Lola is
to
wild.
Me, I mean, but again, I think
to say that's like,
but she's at the top. I just think she'll never win the Olympia.
Right. So
I mean, but
I want to put myself in that situation. And did she get? Is she going to ever have the respect of the league because she chose to do that?
My personal opinion, no. But I feel like in her defense, as long as I'm top 2 or 3 in the world, it's a good trade-off. And the reason why it's a good trade-off is because she's still getting the bag either way. You know, like you can't beat her. You gotta have her in the Olympia, which means she's already done enough work as a competitor too. But being the face of the league is a whole different conversation. So my question is, that's what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is I feel like there are many different paths to being successful in the IFBB. And I am...
What's the path that you're taking? That's what I'm asking. Because the question is Instagram.
I feel like I can give, you know, personality. I feel like I can give, you know, the nice side of me. I feel like I can give a little skin and be successful.
Y'all heard it here first on Treau Talk, yo. So that's the subject on Instagram. You know, like me, I say go for it, champ. Like, and the reason why I say that, the league has already made it very clear that they didn't bring wellness here because they felt like it was a super competitive space. Wellness was brought here because it's sexy. It packs the seats. It put butts in the seat. You know, guys are pulling up from left and right to go sit down and see the woman face the rear. When they say, ladies, face the curtains, that's what we're there for, right? So at the end of the day, those are also the women that's getting the most followers on Instagram because of what they post. You know what I mean? So
I ain't doing it in my phone, but I post that.
I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying to you is, and that's what I'm saying, like, and I'm glad the question came to me, like, hey, what do we do as far as our children? And I just want to let the world know, like, we just had to educate our children that we bodybuilders and we show our body to the world. And yes, we are also comfortable with our children coming to us going, hey, that's too much for us. We can let that go. Right. But at the same time, our children is also comfortable with understanding that this is what we do for a living at this current moment to be great. We don't let our children walk around like that. We make sure if she posts something crazy on her Instagram, it's move now, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we're also giving her an opportunity to have her own voice as well. We're letting her breathe the air of being on social media. We're giving her an opportunity to have her own space and peace here. And that's another reason why she's here today. You know what I mean? Because I know that her opinion matters, her voice matters, her place in this world matters, and I want, right, her self-expression matters, and we promote that. So, that brings us to, the end, and I'm super, super glad that episode 2 was my family, and you got to get inside our home and see what we do and how we do and why we do. A little bit, you know what I mean? We left some things out, but nothing too crazy. But you got to understand now what it looks like to be bodybuilding parents inside of, the league. One being IFBB Pro, one being a future IFBB Pro, and, so that's what it takes to be great. So, as always, man, we ask y'all to like, subscribe, comment, but just remind yourself that the more you follow us and the more that you continue to like what we do, the more successful we will be. So, that brings us to the end of Treau Talk. We got Aedyn.
Thanks for having me.
We got Angela. Yeah, a pleasure, man. I'm pretty sure we'll have you again. You'll be in prep soon. We can talk about your prep and see what's going on. And, we're going to definitely keep my host with the most right here, Aedyn, you know what I mean, a.k.a. Lil Mama with us. So, you know what I mean, as always, man, y'all stay love, stay blessed, stay peace. We out.
Yeah, I want to get better.